Shalom, shalom. Call Allah Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushua, Ba'ashim Rakar and of course, double honors go out to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, deservedly so, for teaching us through the Holy Spirit. Alright, continue to do so. Alright, this is true. This is Nama of the DC camp. In this video, and I'm sure the Akim are going to make videos concerning what I'm about to say here. And this is going to be in a long line of videos that continue to say, I told you so. For you fucking idiots that were in such a rush to vote this devil, or these devils, alright, you know, representative of Eve and the serpent, alright, this old decrepit racist Joe Biden, alright, you were so quick. And understand, I gotta put this out there first. I guess I should start off. I'm in no way a lover of Trump. Never could stand the man. But it's a perfect example of how you idiots, you voted with your emotions, alright? What has Trump, alright, let me rephrase the question. In the long line of presidents of this wicked ass country, what did Trump do or didn't do that was any different from the rest of them? Exactly. So here it is. You let the emotions get the best of you, alright? And clearly Trump is a businessman at heart. He did not want to shut down shit. Alright, and he definitely was not about all this mass shit. So now, per this article here, this is from bestlightonline.com, from bestlightonline.com, excuse me. It says the CDC just made this a federal crime as of tonight. Alright. So you thought it was oppression before. You got about 4 hours and 21 minutes to enjoy before you're going to be looking over your shoulder every time you get on public transportation of any sort. Alright? Why? Because as I stated beforehand, you voted with your emotions. Alright? Clearly there's more going on than what these, hey, I gotta say it because that's what they are, fake news outlets, alright, because they're just giving you crap, alright, to keep you fat, dumb, and stupid. That's it. They're not telling you what's going on about concerning what's really going on in the world, especially when it concerns the money. You want to know what's going on for real? You gotta follow the money. Alright, and for that, you have to go to this man's site, alright, Dabu777, alright, and he's going to tell you when it goes down here, GameStop slides after short interest said to collapse, telling you about the silver and what's going on with that. And it's an indication of bad things that's going to happen. It says this is unprecedented in history. It saying why they halted silver bullion. Alright. And there's another, his latest video says Biden sets record for most executive orders ever signed. And this is just his first 2 weeks. Because the globalist, which Trump was not, finally got someone in there that they wanted that was going to do their bidding. Trump was resisting this shit. Because whatever you want to say about him, and we here at Great Millstone, hell, we want this shit over yesterday. Don't get me wrong. My purpose in this video is to tell you idiots that you've been had, in case you still don't know. A person who he chose as his running mate who clearly is not your people. She's what's known as a terror. Yes, she went to Howard University. So fucking what? Does not mean she's of your people. All because you still subscribe to this black shit. There's nobody on this earth black. There's nobody on this earth white. Those are social constructs. And you played right into that shit. Why? Because you were not taught of the different nations, all right? Specifically when it comes to the Bible. Because of this Christian doctrine, all right? It doesn't teach you anything, especially our people. But just to get up there and shout and say amen and whatever have you, then you're not learning shit. And that was intended. It's so sad. You try to tell your own people, hey, there's more going on, all right? Pay attention, study, read. No, you want to watch, get caught up in some, who knows? It's all fun and games. And a lot of you are going to get caught quite literally with your pants down. Alright? Because this man knows he's got a short time. Everybody's, well, not everybody, but the people he's most concerned with, finding out who they really are, and that's us. And he's scared shitless. Alright? Again, going back to Revelation 12 and 12, he knows he have but a short time. So what? He's going to come down with wrath. And part of that is what? This oppression. This is oppression here. And then, on top of that, hold on, I started off with this. What? The CDC just made this a federal crime. Now, you got to have a specific kind of mask. Let me read this crap. It says, for months, the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention has advocated for the use of face masks in public to help stop the spread of COVID, the C-19. And to show you the hypocrisy, this video is still up there when this first kicked off late February, March, where they tell you that masks aren't going to do anything, all right? And OSHA has its own, the occupational safety, stamp, like for, well, let's get that. I don't want to mess it up. Let's see. Occupational safety hazard. Let's see. They even have criteria for, like where you're in settings for like jobs and the time you can spend with a mask on and all that. And yeah, Occupational Safety and Health Administration. Now they're going back on their own findings because someone whispered in their ear. Because clearly, if you hadn't figured it out yet, there's an agenda here. All right, and it has to do with those vaccines. All right, and you are a complete idiot and ignorant. All right. If you even take the test because you're giving something in that test, there's no reason for them to go up your nose. If you're telling me I have to wear a mask because my saliva is infectious, hence coughing and sneezing, then all you would have to do is just take a swab of the mouth. See, people just, the dumbing down of America. Wow. Now, another point I'd like to make, this gentleman here, this was last month, month before last, December. I forgot this is, wow, time really is. He runs a gym and owns in New Jersey. What part of New Jersey? Let's see. In case you haven't seen this already. It's, this was in December. He had 1.2 million in fines. He said, I'm going to open my shit. I'm not going to mandate any masks. Fuck you all right? It says Ian Smith, a gym owner in New Jersey who has railed against closure orders and mask mandates amid the C-19, remains adamant that he will keep his facility open despite reportedly receiving over $1 million in fines. Again, this was in December. Smith, who he's co-owner, Attilas Gym in Belmar, has been operating as normal for large parts of 2020 despite the ongoing situation, decimating large sections of the economy, and has refused to cooperate with shutdown orders put in place designed at limiting the spread of the virus, which has killed supposedly 300,000 Americans. All right, and we know that this is BS because it's like every other method of death. All right, seems to have ceased to exist. All right, I know for certain that some guy a few months back fell off a roof, and they said, well, he had the C-19, or that caused him to have experience lack of oxygen. And I'm like, see, this is the game they're playing. And there are people in the medical community that are coming out, and they're saying they're looking at people that just being put on respirators that shouldn't be put on respirators, and it's killing them. All right, let's see. I'm just going to let him talk for a little bit. All right, let's go ahead.
What's up, everybody? Last week we told you guys that we were going to have a consulting firm of scientists come into our facility to do a full evaluation of the mitigation practices and procedures put forth by the Attilas Gym in Belmar all the way back in May when we reopened against the governor's orders. We put these plans out publicly because we knew that they were good, and we knew that small business could adapt to operating in a COVID environment, and we had hoped that the government would work with us. To date, we have not been contacted by Governor Murphy or anybody in government other than two
why.
That leads us to believe that this was never about public health.
Exactly.
So we had this report done to test whether or not these practices that we put into place were satisfactory, and we also wanted to look at the efficacy of mask wearing. So I'm not going to go over the whole report. I will post the link in the link tree in my bio. I will scan this entire document so that everybody can take a look at it. But the evidence is clear. The simple and easy to implement practices that we put in place that not only any gym could do, but any small business could do, are more than enough and exceed even the executive order's demands for businesses to reopen. They are beyond satisfactory to stop the spread of COVID or to mitigate it in a extremely reasonable manner to allow businesses to remain open. The evidence is also very clear that masks are not necessary for indoors, especially in a gym environment. So all the information is here. Like I said, I'm not going to go over it all, but as of right now, we have 31,841 visits at the time of this report, and today we're even higher. Still no cases of COVID reported. This is exactly what we wanted, and this is exactly what we're going to bring to court again.
See, and you're going, and then, like I said, this was earlier than December because according to this, in December they had over 80, let's see, what was it? Crap. I think it was over 84,000 at that point, so now this is February. So, what was it? Yeah, I didn't get to that point for time's sake on that, but I'm just going to read it. It says, after Smith completes his audio-visual presentation, which you just heard a little bit of, an unidentified voice can be heard off camera saying, "Fuck you, Murphy," talking about the governor there. It says Smith's act of defiance is the latest instance of he and his gym railing against the restrictions being forced upon many small businesses in the U.S. And like I say, you have to follow the money. All right. We stand firm in our conviction that we are on the right side of this. Our message has not changed. All business is essential. All businesses can operate safely to stop the spread of the so-called virus. All right, and yeah, there you go. Let's see. There was something else I had. Jim remains. Oh yeah, let's get some scriptures here. This is Isaiah. All right, because this is oppression, plain and simple. It says, "Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that write grievousness which they have prescribed." All right, you're being forced to breathe in your waste, a waste product which is called CO2, carbon dioxide. Not only that, being it a moist environment, now you run the risk of bacterial pneumonia. All right, not to mention the dry and chapped skin and all that, that comes with that. And stay 6 feet from each other. Like this magic virus now, if you're within 6 feet, it's going to jump from one person to another. All right. And yet, wherever you go, you're constantly in contact with, especially if you're in a, like this law is supposed to, all right, as far as transportation, let's go some more with this. Let me see how much time I got. Oh, crap, okay. All right, it says, nationwide law, all right. It says the CDC has made wearing a face mask a requirement for all travelers on public transportation and in transit hubs, making refusing to do so a federal crime. You're constantly touching things that other people have touched. There's no way you can get around this. It says read on to see what the new rules could mean for you and for more essential mask guidance. And it gives you a list of masks that are unacceptable. Let's check that out. Before they were just comfortable with anything, all right? And it's so much, the lies. In fact, since I said that, let's get that. This is, wow, straight up oppression. 15. Wow. See now why we always say we have to get the hell up out of here. This is Psalms chapter 58 verse 2. It says, "Yea, in heart ye work wickedness, ye weigh the violence of your hands in the earth. The wicked are estranged from the womb, they go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies." Alright? Their poison is like the poison of a serpent, they are like the deaf adder that stoppeth her ear. Alright? Nothing but lies coming out. Alright? They know that this is BS. And a lot of you, to show what hypocrites you are, every cold and flu season, I don't see you gearing up like this, wearing gloves. Alright? Freak out when somebody gets within 6 feet of you. Shouldn't you have been acting like that with the flu, which kills also? And what about TB, tuberculosis? And other things. But see, you fail to realize that something does not have to be real in order for the desired effect. And the desired effect in this case, you're being distracted at what's going on, what's really going on. Because you're not what? Following the money. They're going to crash this economy. The middle class is altogether being squeezed out. Alright? When they bring in this digital currency, which is what they really want, everybody's in trouble. currency and coin. You can work a side gig. You can have a side hustle. But with digital currency, that's it. And if you act up, if you speak out, I just hit a button, you're done. Alright? And all this, getting this shot with this nanotech and all this is preparing you for this chip. And where they can link you up to these so-called smart cities. And then on top of that, this 5G with these phones, another means of tracking you. Alright, so this is all about having complete control over the population. That's what this is leading up to. And you're so freaked out about this phantom or this magic bug that's supposedly going around. Alright, let's get some more. Since they were talking about Biden, alright, all these executive orders, I believe they caught I guess the mic was still hot, and they were slipping him executive orders, and he was saying, what am I signing here? I mean, wow. You're signing stuff that you're unfamiliar with. You don't... That right there, amongst other things, lets me know this guy is just a figurehead. He's not the power behind him. I mean, there's a power behind him, above him, however you want to put it. Alright. This is Psalms chapter 94, verse 20. It says, shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, which frameth mischief by a law? Alright? That's what they're doing. How in the hell can you justify making people... Wow. And if you don't, you got a federal beef. So now they've established this umbrella. Alright? That's where this is going. Alright, we made it federal offense now. Alright, so you states and local jurisdictions, you can tweak it to however it suits you best. Like I said, more oppression. The new nationwide ruling, which goes into effect at midnight on February 2nd, will require anyone traveling by airplane, train, subway, bus, taxi, or ship to wear a face covering while doing so, as well as requiring them to wear a mask inside airports, subway and train stations, bus terminals, seaports, ferry terminals, and other transit hubs. Finally, the ruling also requires those using ride-share services, such as Uber and Lyft, to wear a mask as well. And for masks to steer clear of this, I thought I had already touched this. Let's see. So now, oh boy, this one type of face mask is unacceptable. Warns the Mayo, got the Mayo Clinic in there. All right. Wow. Along with social distancing and frequent hand washing, mask wearing is one of our best defenses against the C-19. Alright, let's skip down here, because for time's sake, mask number 1, with one layer. According to the CDC, any mask you choose should include either 2 or 3 layers, further restricting your oxygen intake and keeping more CO2 in. 2. Knit or loosely woven mask. Choosing a mask that's made with a tightly knit material is essentially for safety. Oh man, let's see what number 3 is. Scarves or ski mask. 4, masks that do not fit properly. Wow. So now you have to be properly fitted. This shit is crazy, man. This is absolute. Let's see, I know there's more here. Hold on, wait a minute. I just left off at 4. Okay, I guess it was 4. I thought it was 6. So, I mean, wow. Let's see another one. This type of face mask isn't protecting you from... None of them will. And yet, a lot of our people want to stay in this. Oh, boy. Let's see. 1. It needs 3 layers. Okay, as represented the last one on the other list. It shouldn't have a ventilator. It shouldn't, man. Having a breathing vent on your mask may make you feel more comfortable, but health agencies roundly agree that they're completely ineffective at stopping. Man, people are just gonna fucking lose it. You need to wash it regularly. That's about the only one I can see here, you know. Yeah, of course, that's like common sense. You have to wear it right. Now, I believe there was a teenager, early teens, if I remember back in, was it during the summer in Australia, that the police jumped on him and beat him because he was wearing a mask, but he wasn't wearing it properly. Man, this, you know what? Wow. This is, just saying. Wow. They are messing with the people like, Psalms 10 and 2, it says, the wicked in his pride doth persecute the poor. This is persecution. Let them be taken in the devices that they have imagined. And all of us have, and continue to do so, meditate terror on these motherfuckers. Verse 3, for the wicked boasteth of his heart's desire, and blesseth the covetous, whom the Most High Yahweh abhorreth. The wicked, through the pride of his countenance, will not seek after the Most High. The Most High is not in all his thoughts. His ways are always grievous. Thy judgments are far above out of his sight. As for all his enemies, he puffeth at them, especially the Americans. And you better believe, Revelation 17, 16, or 15 and 16, but especially 16, oh yeah. Because people are the world is so tired of this place. Verse 6, he hath said in his heart, I shall not be moved, for I shall never be in adversity. His mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud. And this whole pandemic just reeks of deceit and fraud. Under his tongue is mischief and vanity. He sitteth in the lurking places of the villages. In the secret places doth he murder the innocent. His eyes are privily set against the poor being the nation of Israel, which no one. That's why you can't have sympathy for any of these other countries, because they were all in it. Psalms 83. They never wanted to see us become a nation again. Verse 9, he lieth in wait secretly, as he lion in his den. He lieth in wait to catch the poor. He doth catch the poor when he draweth them into his net. He croucheth and humbleth himself, that the poor may fall by his strong ones. He hath said in his heart, the Most High hath forgotten. He hideth his face, he will never see it. And this has echoes of what? Let's go to Jeremiah, because this is the rationale, all right, for what's happening to us. Jeremiah chapter 50. We'll start at 6. It says, my people have been lost sheep. Their shepherds have caused them to go astray. The Jesse Jacksons, the Al Sharptons, and all these other people that somehow they became our leaders. They have turned them away on the mountains. They have gone from mountain to hill. They have forgotten their resting place. All that found them have devoured them, talking about us. And their adversaries said, we offend not, because they have sinned against the Most High, the habitation of justice, even the Most High, the hope of their fathers. Alright? And that's why we're out there on the highways and byways telling you, come back to your power. Alright? There's nothing here for us. Alright? All the men are faggots and the women want to be men. It's just, this truly is Babylon. It's the place of confusion. Alright, so for time's sake, let's see. Wow, I went way over. So with that, once again, let's go to the original. Again, bestlifeonline.com is the site. An article. The CDC just made this a federal crime as of tonight. Alright, so with that, call the lawyer Holla by Shimmy Awashah by Shimmy Karpadash. Of course, double honors go out to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Alright, so with that, shalom.